Hey guys, and welcome back to another video. So, to kind of put a pause on, the dark and gloomy videos, I thought I'd do something kind of uh, a little bit out of my comfort zone, but I thought, hey, why not go back into the past and talk about my middle school crush. Oh my lord. I mentioned it briefly in my Q&A, but I thought, well, why not talk about this? Because this is an interesting thing. Okay. A few videos I talked about, I like to give people second chances. Well, this is where it comes into play. So, my middle school crush ended up being a boy who bullied me in elementary school. And it wasn't the best. A lot of bullshit went down there. Um, some, um, well, let's just say it was just a lot of shit. His circumstances weren't the best, and then he ended up doing some, I wouldn't say, well, yeah, a little bit of inappropriate stuff. Um, but, I guess he worked through all of that. And in middle school, so he was a grade ahead of me. So when I reached middle school, so for my grade 7, he was already in grade 8. And we ended up being tossed in the same class. Now, this was nothing new because, usually we went to, I had the same class with the same students all the way through to high school, right? So this was nothing new to, get put into a class with people that I went to school already with before. And for some strange reason, we both didn't really like each other at the beginning because we're like, oh shit, here we go again. It was whatever. But he ended up watching out for me and having my back and stuff. And we actually ended up talking and kind of clearing the air through that. And I don't know, we just ended up being friends, which was weird. Again, there was only me and this other girl in the class, and the rest were dudes. So it's like, you know what? Whatever. Let's put our shit aside and let's just, go through forth. We have a whole year together, right? So why not just make the best of it and not be douchey, right? So we ended up being cool friends, just hanging out, talking about stuff. We weren't the best of friends, but we both ended up developing feelings, the first crush, feelings for each other. And we were so goddamn awkward about it. It wasn't even funny. So we ended up kind of breaking off communication because we're like, well, this is weird. How's it gonna look? He used to be a bully, now he's not. He's changed his ways. And it was really, really awkward. I mean, we were really young and naive at that age, right? So it's we didn't even know what to do with our feelings. We were puberty was hitting. I mean, we were already in it, and it was just a lot of hormones flipping around, right? So we didn't know what to do with them, and it was just so awkward. And it's you're in class with this dude, 7 hours to 8 hours a day, doing group projects and all that stuff. And then his desk was across the hall, not hall, but a room that I got moved next to mine. It was just so awkward. So my dumbass decided to write him a letter. And it was just so awkward. Really, Jess? Come on now. You wrote a fucking letter. Yes, I did. I wrote a letter. That is so fucking cliche, but I did. I wrote it. And I wasn't even gonna hand it to him. And then a friend of mine, this is where shit gets weird and connects to my high school years, because the friend who I thought was a friend ended up being one of my abusers in high school. Yep, welcome to the fucking twist of fate world. But, he was an okay dude. I mean, he came from a troubled home, but whatever. We were friends. It wasn't, a big deal. But I guess when high school hit, he got into the drugs and the drinking and the wrong crowd, and yeah, shit hit the fan. Anyways, back to my middle school crush. He found he found my letter, like, because I dropped my bag, and it ended up, of course, such a fucking cliche thing. Like, you would think that this is out of some, like, fucking movie. But anyways, drop the bag, and of course, guess what? The letter falls out. Fate, right? And, like, he found it, and, like, he read it, and he was, like, teasing me about it and stuff. And then, like, he handed it, like, he found it. It was me, the other girl that was in the class, and him. And, like, the other chick, like, she's pretty cool and all that stuff. She saw it, she's like, well, you know what? I'm just gonna give it to him. So she fucked off and gave it to him. And then I was like, what are you doing? She's like, well, you only live once, right? I was like, I know, but, like, oh my god, really? So, anyways, nothing really came of it. Like, he saw it. I was like, this is so fucking stupid. And, like, I apologize. I'm like, I'm sorry. And he's like, nah, it's cool. Like, I kind of like you too, blah, blah, blah. Anyways, so our school dance came around, and, like, I was just hanging out with, again, the friend that I thought was a friend, and my girlfriend that was, a friend. And we're all dancing, we're hanging out and stuff, and the song comes on, and she's like, you know what? I'm gonna be right back. I was like, what the? Okay, sure, whatever. So we're just dancing, having fun. And then she comes back with a smile on her face. I was like, what are you doing? She's like, don't worry about it. So some more music came on, and then another slow dance came on. And I get a tap on my shoulder, and it's my fucking crush. And he's like, hey, you want to dance? I was like, sure. And we slow danced together because, hey, middle school, right? And it was just so, like, innocent, right? And, whatever, life moved on. He graduated, I went into high school, all that shit hit the fan. And then a few years after high school, like, I was just kind of, like, doing my own thing and stuff, and he messaged me on Facebook, just out of the blue, just like, hey, wanted to check in, like, it's been a while since we talked and stuff. And, like, we just basically rehashed everything. Like, he apologized for being a douche in elementary school, and then we just got talking about, like, middle school, and he's like, yeah, you know what? He's like, I really liked you back then, but he's like, I know, like, the situation, I came from bullying you, and again, he apologized, and he's like, I really felt terrible and stuff, and he's, like, developing feelings for you and stuff, and he's just like, he's like, I honestly just didn't want to hurt you more and stuff. He's like, and plus we were so young. And I was like, no, totally, dude, like, I totally get it and stuff. And he's like, just like, how was your life after middle school? And I said, pretty shitty, remember so-and-so I used to hang out? Yeah. Well, he got into the wrong crowd and, a guy that I was seeing and stuff. And yeah, they just ended up, I kind of glazed over the whole situation. I said it just wasn't a really good time in my life. And he, like, jokingly said, well, give me their names and I'll go beat them up. I was like, no, thank you. And, I don't know, it just really reminded me of an innocent time in my life. Like, before everything, like, like, this whole, like, awkward Jess stage. Like, you didn't know what to do. You didn't, like, because it's just, like, I was around guys growing up. So it's like, oh my god, I could actually have feelings for guys like that. It was just so awkward. And it's like, I felt terrible because it's like guys that I grew up with, right? So it's just like, these guys should be, like, almost family, right? And it's like, it's just so awkward falling for one of them. Like, oh my god. But, like, again, that just brings me back to, like, not that I was, like, I gave any of my exes second chances at all. I never did. It's just that I know that there's good in humanity, and I know people make mistakes, like my middle school crush, like, and we talked about it. We talked about it in, like, great detail. Like, he knows what he did was wrong. It was inappropriate. Like, it just wasn't cool, right? And, like, he felt terrible from it. He learned from it, and honestly, he's done fantastic with his life moving forward, right? And I'm really happy for him. Like, he had a really good life after all of that. And it was really interesting talking to him again, like, after everything happened. And it just, like, brought back this, like, carefree, like, so chill atmosphere and life. And, like, it was just, like, I don't know, we were just picked off where we left off and, like, continuing on as, like, friends and whatnot. But it was just so... it was so nice to talk to somebody, like, from my past that was, like, yes, it was a terrible experience, but got turned into a really good experience. And then, you know, we lost contact and stuff, but I was just so, like, I just remember feeling so awkward back then about just life, you know? Going through puberty and, like, getting all these emotions and hormones, and it was a whole lot. And it was a good experience. Again, the whole awkwardness thing was like, oh my god. And, like, the slow dance, but I got to have some really good experiences, like graduation dances, and, like, it was so nice. Like, yeah, I still had bullying throughout that time and stuff. Not from my crush, but, like, other people that weren't in our, like, small circle of classmates, right? And it was just, like, I'm so thankful, like, I got to experience that, because going into high school and, like, losing out on dances and school trips and all that stuff, like, it was terrible, and it was shitty, and I felt so, like, isolated, you know? But remembering going through high school and having those experiences, I'm thankful that, yes, I was young and, you know, but I got to have such really good experiences at such a young age. And just being so carefree of, like, you know, you can dance with whoever you wanted, and, like, nobody... it was so weird because, like, honestly, me and my girlfriend that was a friend, we, like, danced together and nobody cared. Like, nobody made fun of us. Like, it was just weird because, I mean, I guess bullying, but nobody, like, cared, like, at that stage, like, for that. And we were able to laugh and have fun and just be silly and, you know, have stupid crushes. And oh my gosh, it was just so much fun. And, you know, I'm still in contact with some of those people that I went to middle school with. And like, I just remember there was this one girl that got transferred into our class near the end, and then she got moved to the other class the next year because there was just so much trouble. Like, she started so much shit in our class. Like, it was like we were all really united, even though we were, like, you know, completely we were there for each other, right? We had each other's back. Like, we weren't united. It was weird. Like, it was like us against, you know, all the people that, you know, looked upon us, like, down upon us, like, thought we were stupid and tossed around the R word a lot. And, like, to have somebody come in and kind of, like, destroy that, or try to destroy that, because, like, we were very welcoming, right? We weren't douchebags, but she didn't like that we were all, like, united. So, like, she tried to do everything possible to be, like, to start fights with us, to start fights with, like, one on one. It was just really weird. But, like, my crush, he was very, like, defensive and made sure that, like, the shit she was doing was not cool, especially, like, to me or, like, the other girl in the class. Like, he was very protective of the women in the class, not to be, like, you know, like, possessive or anything. He was just, like, a protector, right? Made sure, like, you know, no one hurt us. And, like, when, you know, he heard about the bullying that we went through, like, in our classes, like, he was pissed and, like, wanted to make sure we were okay. And, like, he talked to us. He was just he turned into a sweet, gentle giant, basically. Because, like, he, you know, he learned. But yeah, when this girl, like, came into the class and, like, again, we were welcoming. We didn't like do a cold shoulder or anything or ice her out. Like, we were more than welcome to have her in the class, but she just didn't like that. She was just, oh, like, we knew it was her, and like, we don't know what we did wrong to like piss her off. Like, again, we weren't bullying or anything. We were very welcoming. Like, if we had group projects, of course we had her in, you know, we made her feel very welcome. We didn't make her feel isolated. But she just hated us for no goddamn reason. Maybe she had her reasons, I don't know. But it wasn't like we picked on her or anything, right? Maybe she just didn't like our personalities. I don't know. But to have, like, a protector come in and just, like, not even defend our honor, because that just sounds weird, but just to protect us, like, to make sure that we were okay, and to feel like, oh, don't listen to her type of thing, like, we still got your back type of thing. It was like having all these big brothers, and then the midst of it having a crush on one of them, which is like, oh my god, ew, right? But I didn't see him as a big brother, I just saw him, like, as a protector / crush. Like, it was weird. Okay, I'm making this sound so weird. Oh my lord. Anyways, but yeah, like, to have, it was really nice to, like, have a memory of that, of somebody, like, you know, protecting and believing that we wouldn't do, like, those things she was saying we were doing and stuff. And like, it was just really nice to have somebody check in and make sure that, you know, I was okay and stuff, and like could tell. Like, he was like, you know, he's like, you can he used to say that, like, I had a really good, like, wall that I was like nobody could penetrate it type of thing, like nobody could break it down and stuff, and like I had thick skin, and he knew I could take care of myself even at that young age. But he's like, I know you know, there was something wrong, like, I know that you're upset about it, even though, like, nobody can tell that you're upset, like, you're upset. And we used to talk and stuff, and it was weird just walking around at recess or sitting against the wall of the school at recess and talking. It was very refreshing, and I'm very thankful that I have those memories to look back on and being like, hey, school wasn't always shitty, you know, you came out with some good friendships, you came out with, you know, an amazing experience having a crush and stuff. Like, even though it was so innocent and stuff, and we were so awkward about it on both sides of the field there, it was very nice to have somebody care about me very innocently, you know, and very protectively, and like, you didn't know it at the time, right? But now looking back, it's like, well, I kind of wish I had that in high school, but, you know, I didn't. So just having somebody know you without knowing you, like, it's so weird. Like, I don't know. Like, even when we were talking years after high school, like, he's like, I still know, like, you're acting like everything's okay, and it's like, I know something's wrong. Like, you know, you don't have to say it or anything, just know that, like, whatever. And it was just like, wow. Like, really? After all these years, you still know me? Damn, okay. But unfortunately, we've lost contact, and, you know, maybe one day we'll get in contact again out of the blue and rehash everything, but, you know, and look back on memories and be like, haha, we were idiots back then. But, yeah, that's a very innocent, awkward Jess in middle school, so that's my middle school crush experience. Oh my god. Anyways, guys, you know, I got messages and they want more details. People want more details about that. So here we go, guys. It's crazy and awkward and stupid. But yes, welcome to Awkward Jess. Yay. Hi. Nice to meet you guys. Anyways, I hope you guys are having a fantastic Friday evening. Again, hope you guys are all staying safe. Remember, never give up. Always keep fighting. You're enough and you're very much loved. Until the next video, guys. I love you. Stay safe.